Hello, and thank you all for coming out to the Goddess Queen Tulsa show. This is the show where we cover local news, we cover after dark topics, entertainment, and hot topics. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment, and also tell a friend to tell a friend. If you are generous, you can hit our Cash App. If you are very much so friendly, you want to keep on with the show, you can sign up for a membership and you can be a part of all of the greatness. Thank you so much.
What's up, everybody? This is Gary Little G Jenkins from the R&B Group SIP. When I come to Tulsa, I hang out at the Queen Tulsa show.
All right. Welcome, guys, to the Goddess Queen Tulsa show. If you are a new subscriber, thank you for subscribing. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your loyalty. So today is a Wednesday, and today is a day where, let me see. Today was very interesting in my personal life. But yeah, we'll get into that a little bit later. But I'm definitely excited to be here today because we have some viral videos that I want to go over and discuss with you all. So, first and foremost, we have Joycelyn Savage. They're saying that she might be unalived or in danger. You know, her dad, Timothy Savage, says she was never pregnant and that pretty much that he believes that it's something not fully there with his daughter, if that makes sense, you know? But let's go ahead and get into the content, guys.
Good evening, everyone. Today is I think today is the day that we need to talk about a couple of things that has happened in the past 48 hours. I've experienced some things that need to have some attention brought to it. First of all, I want to thank everyone that's on social media for your fast response and your actions. Yesterday, the Shade Room had put a post up. And the post was me concerned about my daughter's well-being and her state of mind and just proof of life. Well, within a 24-hour period of time, I got a call from a concerned parent. And the concerned parent wanted to let me know that that was their daughter and it was her father. He sent me pictures of him and his wife. His wife basically holding the baby girl that this man claimed that it was Joycelyn's child. To let me know that he was sincere, he called me and he talked to me. His heart was broken that his daughter was used as a pawn. His daughter was born in the month of July of 2022. And this man stated that my daughter had a child in the month of December the 8th of 2022, even gave the baby a name, which is so sad. This is what I am talking about, people. This is the reason why we need to have some proof of life of Joycelyn. Joycelyn has not said nothing publicly since April the 17th, and I'm not reading from a prompter. She has not said anything since April of 17 of 2022 when she stated that she wasn't brainwashed, she didn't have these type of things going on, and she was reading from her cell phone. Well, rest assured, people, I have not heard from my daughter or have not seen her physically since we saw her in Chicago when her and Azriel had a altercation. I haven't physically had a sit-down conversation with my daughter since December of 2016. I can also remember when the BuzzFeed article came out, for you people that don't know, of July the 17th of 2017. I also remember when we was the first parents to stand in front of Robert Sylvester Kelly's house to say we had not saw our daughter. We want to make sure she's fine and healthy and okay in Atlanta, Georgia. I can also remember some of the state senators at the actual Georgia wanted to move forward and prosecute R. Kelly, but the mayor of Atlanta, Georgia at the time did not want to move forward. So rest assured, all these things has happened and we still haven't had no closure of making sure that our daughter is fine, healthy, and okay. And a lot of people would state, well, she just, maybe she don't want to be around you guys. Maybe she don't want to have any communication with you. Maybe she just, want to be to herself. And that's fine and dandy. I don't have a problem with my daughter being to herself. I don't have a problem with my daughter staying in a whole new different state. I have a daughter right now that stays in Texas. So I don't have a problem with my daughters doing whatever they want to do with their life to a certain degree. When I think it's harmful to their health and harmful to them, then as a father, I would step in, because that's my job, is to step in to make sure that she's okay. Did we sell our daughter to Robert Sylvester Kelly? No, we did not. And I'm not reading a question from here. I'm just telling you, no, it did not. That's another set of parents that had a problem with him, and their daughter was younger. And our daughter was 19 when she met Robert Kelly. Their daughter was underage, and for some reason or another, transactions happened between them and their family. I don't get involved with other people's mess because I don't know their mess. I just only can tell you to go read the courts in New York. Let's rest assured, I have not seen my daughter, and I want to make sure she's fine and healthy and okay. I am praising the people that's on social media right now. I want to give you thanks. I want to thank you for helping me find out the truth about my daughter's not pregnant. She wasn't pregnant. I want to find out she did not write that book. And it goes for the same thing as the Patreon account. Somebody else wrote that Patreon account, and we stand as the Savage family to get an answer for all these things. We will not stop until we get an answer to make sure that Jocelyn is fine and healthy and okay. We want to support our daughter in every which way we can, but rest assured, we're not in a point to try to take over her life. We're not in a point to try to control her. We as parents want to make sure she's fine. Now, this young man that had a page since 2019, and you go back to look at the dates, he had so many pictures of Jocelyn. He had pictures of Robert Sylvester Kelly. He had pictures of a lot of things of her. Led me to believe that, and a lot of other people to believe that it was her. But some things was throwing it off, because this guy was making promotions and doing all other type of things in his when he went live or DMs and stuff like that. So I know my daughter would not put those things out. And so at this point, I know that it was something wrong. And I still think it's something wrong today, because I have not heard from her. She didn't respond to say, hey, this is not true. I am not pregnant. I am not. And I think she would have, if she had the ability to do so. That led to me to think that even when the Lifetime new documentary is coming out, you would see Glenda. And I'm not going to say Leslie. I'm going to say Glenda. Glenda is the one that was at the courtroom. She thought that I was taping her. In reality, Lifetime was taping her. And she told me that I would not see my daughter again. Because you know why? Because she's a control person. She's an enabler. Now, Rob may not have the control of what you think he may not have. But at the end of the day, these enablers are doing everything in their power to keep Jocelyn away from her family. And I don't know why. I don't know what's the purpose of it. Rob is in jail. Okay. So why are you trying to keep my daughter away from her mother, her father, her sisters? Is it something that she's missing? Is it something wrong? We tend to find out. Just like we found out about this baby situation. We are not going to stop people that who is the enablers. We're not going to stop until we find out the truth that my daughter is okay. I've been saying it since day one, and I won't stop. I don't care about no trolls. I don't care about none of that. My most important thing to me right now to make sure my daughter is fine. And if you as a parent do not understand that, you as a parent don't give a care about your child, that's you. I care about mine. I was raised that way to care about my child. So if you don't care about your child, it's fine and dandy. But don't push me to the point where you think I don't care about mine, because I do. We all get upset. We all get angry. All have type of disputes and so what. But at the end of the day, my thing is to make sure my daughter is fine and healthy and okay. And I'm not stopping. If I had to go to the federal government, FBI, whoever, it's going to happen. We will get to the bottom of this. And rest assured, you guys will know, because I'm thankful for you guys for actually stepping up and doing the right thing. I'm thankful for those set of parents that saw their baby on that on the shade room and said, I need to reach out to this father and let him know. That man reached out to me early that morning. He was so concerned about his child picture being all over the internet. And I told him, I said, man, I'm sorry. I told him that personally, because at the end of the day, I felt his pain as a father. I felt that he wanted to protect his little girl, and I understand it. So that's the reason why I told him. But I said, rest assured, I'm going to do everything in my power to call the shade room and see if we can get the little girl taken off, in which they did. Thankful. I'm thankful for them for doing that. That means they have some type of integrity of trying to do the right thing. Now, this guy who did that wrote the book and said Jocelyn had a baby and named the baby a full name, gave a date of birth, everything like that. He is a coward. He is someone that's want to make money off people, and I tend to get to the bottom of that, because I'm going to make sure he gets exposed, and I hope you guys go and expose him as well. No man on this earth that does coward things like that deserve to be running free. He deserved to be locked up, because he's a coward to use a baby to make money. That is a coward move, and the way he did it, it does not work in my field, and I hope it doesn't work in yours. So, guys, I want to tell you this. We're going to move accordingly. We're going to move fast and swift, and we're going to get to the bottom of what's going on with Jocelyn. Hopefully, you guys can help me, and doing what you did on today can help me do what you're doing to help me find Jocelyn and find out what's going on with her. You guys deserve to know, just like I do, because you was right there through this whole entire experience. And trust me, I'm going to make sure you know everything that's going on. I promise you, because we need to put a stop to these enablers. If my daughter is live and well, I want to make sure she's live and well. I want to make sure she's okay. And we deserve to know that. And for somebody who's holding her against her will, or doing something that's harmful to her, or putting her on some type of drug, or putting her in a situation where she cannot answer the phone, shame on you. We're going to make sure that you be held responsible for the things that you're doing to my daughter. We're going to make sure that you face the law just the way as anybody else that does something unsafe to a young lady or a child or a woman or a man, period. We're not going to tolerate it, not one bit. So I am thankful. I am grateful. I applaud you for helping me. I applaud those parents for sticking up and making sure that everything was fine, and making sure, I want to make sure that their daughter is fine. And I told him, if he need anything, let me know. So guys, here's the deal. We have a long battle ahead of us for these enablers. I don't know if my daughter is strung out on drugs or my daughter is still with us today. But rest assured, my name is Timothy Savage, and I stand to fight, and I stand to make sure my daughter is okay. Now, some of you may not like that, but I'm going to do everything in my power. And guys, you can DM me if you have any suggestions, if you have any attorneys, if you know anybody that knows Jocelyn, anybody have seen my daughter. We're going to go and find her and get her the help she needs, not to be put on no television, not to be put on no Lifetime. We need to get her the help that she deserved as a young lady, because it's not about no Lifetime. Lifetime was a place that we put out because we want to bring awareness. But you know what? When I saw what happened today, you guys are the awareness. You guys are the right people that to help me get my daughter and help and put her in the right situation, get her the help that she deserves if she needs it. Like you said, hire a private investigator. Yes, ma'am. You know one in Chicago? Let's do it. It's simple. Let's do it. I want you guys to be in the journey with me to help find my daughter and get her help, get her safe, and get her what she need to be at. Period. So thank you guys. Please DM me anything that you know of my daughter, anything that you could give me some advice on. I depend on you 100%, because without you, I wouldn't have found out what happened today. So I'm thankful to those parents. Thank you. You guys be blessed. This is Tim. Please DM me.
Okay, guys. So that was Timothy Savage. That was Jocelyn Savage. You know, the young lady that was, with the camp with R. Kelly. And her and Azrael, I think they were like the last of the last. Well, in my opinion, I feel like, this guy has a lot of outrage at the last minute. I just feel like, allegedly, everything in this situation is allegedly. But my thing is, I feel like he had a part in that because y'all took them to these concerts, y'all left them on stage, y'all left this man around your daughter, or let her go and hang out with a grown man. And so the responsibility, in my opinion, is always going to fall back on the adults, because she was a minor, she was a child, she wasn't old enough to make her own decisions. And I feel like, from observation, a lot of people are saying that this was a money grab and that the family is only crying out because the money stopped. Because it's like they felt like the family sold their girls out, for that fame and for that notoriety and, allegedly for the checks. And so, in my opinion, do we feel like that this is a money grab for Timothy Savage? Now he's back in the headlines and making a fuss about, a situation that was in his control, but it seems like when they went to that concert, then things went a little left. Is he being compensated, from the documentary? Because he also mentioned, oh, when the upcoming documentary comes out, so is this promo? I'm trying to figure out, is this a cry for help or is this a promo? Because it sounds like promo to me. You know what I mean? Um, does Jocelyn not want to be around them? Because you have to think about this. Jocelyn got away from the family for a reason, and she didn't want to be there, right? She didn't want to be there, in my opinion. In my opinion, just looking at the situation, you gave me away back then. Now that I'm an adult and I have things going for me, if I walk outside, I'm paparazzi best friend because they want to hear from me. I have this fame. Um, you know, everybody wants to hear from me. Everybody, I feel like they building up this momentum. It's like a momentum being built up, right? Um, they're saying that Joycelyn is she was pregnant, had the baby, and if she did, congratulations. I just feel like, why should she come back? And I feel like Joycelyn's, I'm gonna jump in Joycelyn's head right now. Joycelyn is probably like, well, you pimped me out back then. Why would I come back for like a new arrangement of a pimp situation? Like, are y'all gonna be trying to conjure up the next person that y'all gonna put me off on? You know, those are just my outside thoughts of inside of her head, because I'm trying to think, why would she come back? And so he did, Tim did mention that he called the shade room. So that's why I said, is this a publicity stunt? Is this advertisement for the documentary that's coming up? If anyone needs to be locked up, in my opinion, it's the parents. It's the parents. Because had you not been that vulnerable and let your child just go and hang out with a grown man, then maybe you wouldn't even be in the situation that you're in today. Because now it's like you're trying to fight to get your child back. You know what I'm saying? You're fighting for that attention. When she was maybe asking for attention, you guys pushed her away. You pushed her off onto a man. And I feel like Joycelyn became a priority when the money stopped. And that's just in my opinion. I feel like Robert had the parents' consent, and now they want to start digging in and trying to find each and every loophole that they can hop around, instead of really addressing what the problem is head on. And so that comes to our next story. Actually, our next story is a homeowner unalived, half naked pedophile who snuck inside his daughter's room. Okay. And so I am going to go ahead and play this article. So give me I'm going to go ahead and play this content. So give me one moment as I bring this up for us, guys. And listen here, brace yourselves. This is a trigger warning for anybody out there that's listening. This is definitely a trigger warning. Let me go ahead and bring up our banner. All right, guys, here we go.
Under the cover, turn her. There he was standing right there in the kitchen.
Half naked.
Right.
Can you imagine? That girl, just 12 years old.
Most importantly, how you celebrating tonight? And am I invited?
You're not invited.
There he was standing right there in the kitchen.
Half naked.
Right.
Can you imagine? That girl, just 12 years old, and it turns out the stranger in her room at 7 o'clock Sunday morning was a next-door neighbor. The child's family just moved to a house near Homeview Drive in Montana Avenue 2 weeks ago.
She was really smart. Like, she hid under the cover, turned her light down, turned her volume down on her phone to text me. And then when she peeked under the cover to see where he was at, and she got up and she ran away.
He has a long history of convictions for drugs, trespassing, and fleeing police. But most disturbing, a guilty plea in 2001 for sexual misconduct. Court records say he got a 15-year-old girl pregnant.
He got undressed in my daughter's room. Like, what was your intentions?
Told him get out, and he didn't want to move.
Right.
And he growled at me, and he ended up getting 6 shots. Period.
There he was standing right there in the kitchen.
All right, guys. So there you heard it. There was an intruder in a family's home, and the intruder was in the daughter's room, and she noticed that this gentleman was in her room, and so she was very smart. I feel like her senses had come to her. She texted her parents, "Somebody's in my room." Dad came in, said, "Hey, come out." He didn't come out, so he got 6 heavy ones his way. And in my opinion, job well done. You took that enemy up out of there. It was your home, your family, your daughter was, I mean, this man was had undressed in this family's home. Then totally came up in here and violated this family's home, people. I don't think y'all get it. This man went into someone's home and totally violated this family. And he got his due diligence. He met his maker. He met his maker. Absolutely. So my thing is, if it was, you got to stay on alert. Everybody, you got to definitely make sure you are locking up your house at night. Um, oh, make sure you locking up your house at night and really um taking proper precautions at the end of the day. Okay, I'm not really sure what just happened. Okay. Absolutely. So we definitely want to do that. All right. So our next top. Oh well, exactly. Oh well, and that's what I said, girl. With no hesitation, like I'm definitely going to be, baby. Girl, girl. No. And then he said that the man growled at him, child. The man growled at him. The man growled at him. All right. Let's get into this next story, guys. So, this next story is okay. Our next story. So, this man unalives 2 people, wounds several others in days long Harlem slashing spree. Okay. So, give me one sec. Locking doors, windows, because people is turning doorknobs. Absolutely. Listen here, we're going to go on a quick commercial break and then we'll be right back, guys. Hello, and thank you all for coming out to the Goddess Queen Tulsa show. This is the show where we cover local news, we cover after dark topics, entertainment, and hot topics. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment, and also tell a friend to tell a friend. If you are generous, you can hit our Cash App. If you are very much so friendly, you want to keep on with the show, you can sign up for a membership and you can be a part of all of the greatness. Thank you so much.
What's up, everybody? This is Gary Little G Jenkins from the R&B group SIP. When I come to Tulsa, I hang out at the Queen Tulsa show.
And that is true. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for hanging with us through that commercial. Now, our next story is police have charged a bloodthirsty unaliver with a rash of random slashings in Harlem that claimed the lives of two people. On Friday, Dr. Bruce Maurice Henry, a respected pediatrician, was found unalive in a pool full of blood at Marcus Gravy Park on a stairway shortly after 2 a.m. His throat had been slashed and he'd been stabbed multiple times. Hours later, 35-year-old Ronald Cordington was spotted driving the victim's 2021 Mercedes Benz. The suspect was found with four other people, but told police to let them go, as he was the one behind the slaying. As authorities worked to piece together a motive, they learned that Dr. Henry was not the only victim of Cordington. His unalivement reign began on December 19th when he fatally slit the throat of James Cunningham as he was leaving a bar. Cunningham was found unalive on Avenue A near East 13th Street around 1 a.m. with a 10-inch slash wound across the neck. On December 22nd, just days after his first unalivement, Cordington entered Teddy's Bar and Grill on 2nd Avenue. Holding a baseball bat and a pit bull, he then attacked the bartender and two others with the bat before stabbing them. After the bar stabbings, Cordington allegedly went home before going for a walk to cool off. It was at some point during this stroll that he encountered Dr. Henry. The two had some sort of exchange, though it is not immediately known the full extent of it. At that point, the deranged man unalived the physician. Y'all, when I tell you, let me go ahead and bring him up and show y'all this struggle bandit. Do you see him? He looks deranged. He looks like it is something not all there with him. Like this dude, this was all premeditated. Shout out to Baller Alert. This was all premeditated. Like you did what you did. You went home to cool off. You know, like throw the book at him, throw away the key. Like he is going to, oh Lord, don't see in prison. Oh wow. It's the shankery of it all, you know. Prayers up to the families that were affected, you know. My heart goes out to them, and then the innocent bystanders that had nothing um that had, oh my god, just had no clue that was coming towards them. Well, listen guys, we are about to get on something controversial. Let's get into it. Viral video of a trans woman claiming to experience menstrual pains has sparked debate on social media. Okay? Now listen here. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. So yeah, she said that she's experiencing pain. So you guys let me know how you feel about that in the comments. Excuse me. She's saying that, you know, she's on the rag. You know, she's saying that, okay, here, let me see. All right, I'm gonna have to pause. I'm gonna have to mute myself and I'm gonna go ahead and play the clip. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. Okay. It says trans girl experiences first intense period after HRT. Viral video of a trans woman claiming to experience menstrual pains has sparked debate on social media. One user wrote, when men say they have period cramps, I'm always interested to know precisely what they think is cramping, given they lack all reproductive female anatomy. One said, one, muscles are a source of cramping. Two, when the muscles cramp on a monthly recurring basis and the individual has an estrogen based in endocrine system, there's really only one answer that fits. What happens when trans women can give birth? What will you say then? It's coming. I get cramps when I gotta take a huge dump too. Cis men cramps, someone wrote. Someone replied, I have a uterus and I'd love to not experience menstrual cramps. Another user wrote, the single greatest issue this society up against is mental health. Another user wrote, abdominal issues are common with HRT. The notion that this has anything to do with a period borders on comical. Another user wrote, right, so seeing as how that dude doesn't have a uterus, it seems he's just doing an embarrassing bit of acting, either that or he really needs to go to number number two. Wow. So they're the misgendering and all that. Okay. Welcome to the Twilight Zone. Menstruation is something natural that is constantly associated with being a woman. Therefore, it is completely normal for all women to want to experience this sensation. And I hope you can all appreciate that. Another person wrote, experiencing primary or secondary dysmorphia, uterus muscle contractions to shed the lining, is not funny at all. It is painful and debilitating. Lord knows the volume of painkillers I've been I've been taking and painkillers I've been taking in adult life just so I can sit up rather than slump over in pain over my desk. Hello? Yeah. All right. So, honest question someone says, honest question, since I'm a man and can experience menstrual cramps firsthand, are they easily distinguished from I just ate a really bad meal and I'm going to need a toilet soon cramps? Someone says, I personally never confuse them. I feel it lower than where my stomach is. It can be a sharp, achy, throbbing pain in my lower abdomen. I also get extremely painful, tender breasts. I used to get intense lower back pain. Is different for every woman, nothing quite like it. Okay, so someone else says, it's like when you are a child and pretend to be sick, exaggerate something you have because you don't want to go to school. Someone said, I used to bark and pretend I was a dog. So you guys let me know. Okay, so here. Oh, we got some comments. Okay. Uh so you said so the guy that went on a slashing spree, you said he's not mental health. Exactly. I'm sorry, but she has menstrual pains, but no uterus. Okay. And so he says, what eggs does she has? Come on now, let's stop. All right. Made of Rubber says drag queens support everybody and love everybody. Why the hell is trans a thing when you can be both when you can be best of when you can be best of both worlds? Well, my thing is I just feel like certain things are for the internet, certain things aren't. And I just feel like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know really what to take serious on social media because when you talk about these silly little pranks, it's like these trends, these challenges and things like that. I don't know. I don't know. I I feel like congratulations to the young lady for going through and getting, the proper care through her doctor. But I feel like, um, you know, I guess maybe keep track of your menstruals. So, let us know how the next one is. And that's all I have for that. And on to our next story. Okay, so our next story is new charges for a woman arrested in connection to toddlers unalivement. So give me 1 second and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play this audio from this news clip. All right. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and bring it up. All right, guys.
In Canton, we just told you about this story yesterday. A woman behind bars in connection with the death of a toddler is now charged with murder. Detectives say they secured an additional warrant for Felissa Diallo. She was originally charged with concealing the death of another person and cruelty to children. Officers say they received information about a dead toddler at a home on Hearthstone Landing Drive. When they arrived, they found the child. The body was turned over to the GBI crime lab to determine the cause of death and identification.
All right. So that was the clip. A sign says, I would not wish cramps on anyone because that pain will have you break down. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, child, here we go. This was that story was actually reported on December the 16th of 2022. And so we actually have another story that I wanted to cover. And there's a Louisiana couple charged in toddlers unalivement after their stories about the baby's injuries did not add up. Okay, so let me go ahead and bring them up so you guys can see who we are talking about today. Okay. So let me go ahead and bring them up. All right. So these are the parents, guys. Um, okay, so these are the parents, and pretty much what they are charged for is a 23-year-old man in Louisiana was arrested for allegedly beating his girlfriend's 1-year-old daughter to death over the weekend because the child would not stop crying. Reynard Robinson was taken into custody on Monday and charged with one count of second-degree murder in the unalivement of Brooklyn Dillon, authorities announced. The victim's 23-year-old Kiara Dillon was also, the victim's mother, 23-year-old Kiara Dillon, was also arrested on Monday. She was charged with one count of accessory after the fact, the second degree murder. According to a press release from the St. John the Baptist Parish Sheriff's Office, deputies at approximately 9:30 a.m. on Sunday, December 11th, responded to a 911 call in reference to a young child who was not breathing at a residence in the 500 block of Revere Drive in LaPlace. Upon arriving at the scene, the first responder said they located the toddler, who was unresponsive, on a bed inside the home. She appeared to have serious sustained physical injuries. Shortly after emergency services (EMS) personnel arrived, Brooklyn's vital signs crashed. She succumbed she succumbed to her injuries and was pronounced dead on the scene. Officers and medical personnel observed bruising to her face and other parts of her body. The release states an autopsy shows the baby has several severe injuries. The medical examiner determined that Brooklyn's manner of death was a homicide, and the cause of death was determined to be blunt force trauma. In an interview with investigators, Robinson allegedly admitted to inflicting the personal harm that caused the infant to lose consciousness and ultimately causing her death. It did not take long for the young man Raynard to confess, Sheriff Mike Trey Gray told New Orleans CBS affiliate. He told us he was at home alone with the child. The child was starting to cry. He grabbed the child and beat the child on the floor a few times, and he also struck the child on the bed rail, the post of the bed, and put the child back in the bed. Robinson also implicated Dillon, allegedly telling the investigators he told Dillon that he was responsible for injuring Brooklyn prior to them speaking to authorities. They tried to lead us to believe it was something else that may have happened to the child, but when we saw the injuries, those things did not add up, Sheriff Gray said reportedly, told the station. He admitted to us she knew what he had done. She tried to deny it. She did not show any emotions until we put the handcuffs on her. Even though we told her there were the injuries we found and we told her that he confessed, she never cried. She never showed any emotion. Robinson is currently being held on $300,000 bond, while Dillon is being held on $109,000 bond. Robinson is reportedly not Brooklyn's biological father. Dillon, other child, a 4-year-old boy who was reportedly removed from the home and placed in protective custody. Sheriff Gray told Baton Rouge CBS affiliate that the slaying was one of the most difficult cases to come through his office in a long time. It's going to stick with and remain my main officers probably the rest of our careers. The rest of our lives is sad. It's just a bad situation, he reportedly said. This is not a good time ever, but this is Christmas time, which makes it that much worse. Okay. Now, those are the topics. Those are the hot topics. My prayers are with those families, the innocent people that you know, have to deal with losing a family member on these occasions. Well, guys, we have come to the end of our show, and I want to thank you all for coming out to the Goddess Queen Tulsa show. I'm your host, Queen Tulsa, and until next time, we are out. Good night.